My own kids won't come to my wedding unless I invite the grandmother who made my marriage miserable. I divorced my ex-wife about 7 years ago. My ex-wife, about 7 years ago. At the time, I was the stay-at-home parent, and my wife wanted to bring her old mother to live with us. It was a big argument. I didn't want her to move in because I knew that I would have to look after her and basically become a caregiver for her. I wanted her to go to a home. My ex-wife told me she was moving in no matter what since she is the one that pays the bills. That is when we got divorced and I went back to work. I got every weekend with custody. I tired for more, but it's really hard when you don't have much money. Unfortunately, the care for Grandma fell on my two oldest kids when they were with their mom. It was a long-running argument between me and my ex-wife. That was 7 years ago, and I am getting remarried. My kids are now 21, 20, and 18. They still live at their mom's and take care of Grandma. I still see them most weekends. My ex-wife works long hours to support everyone, and so the care falls on them. I disagree with this so much. It doesn't help that my kids are bitter I divorced their mom, and they were forced into a care role. They love their grandma, but are burnt out. I've told them so many times they can live with me full time, but they feel like they can't walk away because who would take care of Grandma? I sent out invites to the weddings. They already knew the date. And I thought it was all good. I got a call from my oldest saying they need to bring Grandma needs an invite. I don't care for Grandma. She was a royal jerk when I first met my wife and into our marriage. I told her that she isn't invited and my ex-wife can look after her for a night. My kids told me she can't since she will be working. My wedding is on a Saturday a year from now. She can watch her mother one night a year for him. Now I told my oldest no, and their mom will need to figure it out. She then told me she will not come if Grandma can't come. I reiterated Grandma's not invited. We got into a big argument about it, and she told me I need to step up unlike what I did years ago, the divorce. I told her she is welcome to come, but Grandma is not invited. My other kid have texted they are not coming if Grandma can't. Up next. My daughter is secretly sneaking her kid to visit the in-laws who called her ex a slur and disowned him for being gay. When Ryan was caught cheating, and he is gay. The breakup was extremely messy, and in the end, the custody was 50-50. Ryan's family is really religious, and when it came out, they were pissed. When they learned Ryan was gay, they disowned him. I was at my daughter's place helping her move out when I heard Ryan's mother call him a faggot. So his family is really crap people. After he was disowned, for some reason, they thought he would give them access to the grandbaby. He basically told them to shove it. I know about this because they contacted me once to let them see the kid while I was babysitting. I told them no. 50-50 has been a bit rough for my daughter. It is hard for her not to have her kid for major events. Example. Ryan had custody of the grandbaby during Easter, but he agreed to let my daughter have him that day so they can celebrate with my side of the family. My daughter was over to pick up some stuff, and she showed me pictures from her latest weekend trip. In the picture, there was Ryan's mom and his two siblings. I asked what this was about, and she told me that she has been taking the kid to see them for a few months now. I asked if Ryan knew. I thought they got back in contact, and she told me no. I told her that it was horrible to do, that they are bigots and disowned their kid. She got defensive and it went into an argument. She defended taking her kids around homophobes, and I told her I was disgusted by what she was doing. I informed Ryan, he thanked me, and now my daughter, super pissed. Ryan apparently is refusing to be lenient anymore with custody. So more getting the kid on not her day, even if my daughter wants them for some event. Up next, on phone. My DL is a very sensitive soul, to put it lightly. She will end up in tears at basically any pushback or any slightly rude remark. It can be extremely frustrating because anything brought up will end up with her in tears and you looking like a huge jerk. One example, she has a habit of not taking off her shoes before going into people homes. About a year ago, she was tracking mud into my home and I told her to take off her shoes. She started crying because my tone was too much. I didn't yell or anything. My daughter was there and agreed I wasn't mean when I said to take off her shoes. It was a whole thing, and my son gave me a whole lecture about how I can't say things like that. I told her to take off her shoes. She isn't a quiet crier either. It's loud, and everyone notices the moment it happens. Then everyone needs to comfort her, and you are the dick for making her cry. There are more examples of this, and the whole family has had to deal with it. The issues was this weekend get-together for my other Dial's daughter birthday. The birthday was going well, and there are a lot of young kids. One of the kids, he is 4, almost 5, can be rude. His parents are working on it. He doesn't have a filter. During the event, when she was helping passing out the food, he called her fat. The parents grabbed him, and she started crying. It was getting loud, so I pulled her off the side and told her to stop crying. I didn't want her to cause a scene at a 7-year-old's birthday. It was a little kid's remark and told her not to come out of the room unless she is composed. She ended up going to the car and didn't come back to the party. My son and I got into an argument. My point is she a grown adult and she is crying over a 4-year-old saying something mean. He's telling me to apologize, but at this point, I am not. Up next, my wife refused to take our sobbing daughter to her classmate's funeral. I'm stranded in an airport. Tell me if I messed up. His week, my daughter, she is in middle school, lost a classmate. My daughter has not taken it well. And overall, this is her first experience of someone she knows dying. The whole class was excused from school today, and the funeral is happening right now. I unfortunately could not be there. I tried, but my PTO was denied, and we cannot lose this job. I flew out of Wednesday night, and I'm coming back now. Our daughter is a mess. She was friends with the girl that passed away. The plan was for my wife, she is unemployed at the moment, to take her to the funeral mass and just be there. My wife is more spiritual than the average person and hates all things with the dead. Funerals, viewing, and so on. This one is only a mass funeral, no viewing. She believes in ghosts and will avoid funerals like the plague. We discussed it on Wednesday, and she said she would take our kid and then go to the gravesite. I got a call from my daughter sobbing that she wasn't going to the funeral. My wife was refusing to take her. When I got her to answer my call, she told me she can't do it and she is scared to go. I called up my mom and asked her to pick up my daughter and take her to the funeral. My mom left work and took her. They are there now. I got a call from my wife with her crying because my mom tore her a new one. The gist was my mom called her a bad parent and that it is so freaking up that she couldn't take out kid to the funeral of a classmate. She wants me to make my mom apple goes. And I told her my mom was right, that this was something that our daughter needed and she freaking up, that she wasn't acting like a parent because of her fear of the dead. All she needed to do was stay through mass. We got into a huge phone call agreement and she is calling me a huge dick. My mom is apparently getting texts also, and I told her to not let our daughter know that we are fighting and if she could look after her for the day. She agreed. Up next, I, 23F, live alone in a decently nice apartment, and I'm proud of it. My sister, Amelia, 20F, lives at home. We've always been very close, so I gave her a key for convenience and emergencies. Since I moved in about 10 months ago, Amelia has been coming over a lot. At first it was nice, but now it's almost daily. I work long hours and value my space and privacy. So this has been a little frustrating for a while, but I tried to be understanding because I know she really wants to move out too. Over the past 2 to 3 months, Amelia's been obsessed with my apartment and its aesthetic. She constantly comments on how she would decorate differently or suggests that we should move furniture around. I usually brushed it off as jokes. It didn't really start to get weird until I started coming to her in my apartment after letting herself in while I wasn't home. A few times I had noticed she rearranged little things. It bugged me, but I didn't outwardly confront her because it wasn't worth a fight with her. About 2 weeks ago, Amelia and I were at a mutual friend's party, and I overheard her talking to someone about her new apartment. And when I walked up, her friend said something like, "It looks nice from the pictures," which made me think she was showing people my place and telling them it's hers. A few days later, I came home early from work, and she was on my couch with a girl I've never met. Amelia looked obviously shocked and left quickly to go shopping. It happened again a few days later with our 2 cousins instead, but she didn't seem to care that I came home this time. I texted her later and asked her to ask me before inviting anyone over to my apartment, and all she said was K. After that, I assumed all was well. She was still over a lot, but she was acting oddly nice. I found this weird and was immediately suspicious, but from what I could tell, she wasn't doing anything strange. Boy, was I wrong. Last night I came home after a 12-hour shift, and she was there again. But this time, with 5 friends playing a drinking game in my living room. I was exhausted and livid. I told them all to leave. Amelia tried to talk to me in the kitchen, but I wasn't having it. I told them again to leave, and one of her friends asked why I was there. In my apartment. I lost it. I yelled, "Because I live here. Amelia lives with our parents now. Get the freaking out." They left quickly, but my family is now saying that I embarrassed her in front of her friends, and Amelia's humiliated. I honestly don't think I did anything wrong, but my family is saying my sister is devastated. I'm not even sure what to do from here. I tend to overreact sometimes, but this was wild and very out of character for my sister. Eta.